This video is sponsored by iFixit. I bought 2 broken Pokemon Special Edition Nintendo Switch Lites to see if I can fix them. I paid $300 for these 2 broken Nintendo Switch Lites. These are the Special Edition Zacian and Zamazenta Pokemon Nintendo Switch Lites, and while I didn't necessarily buy these to try and make money on them, at this price of $150 each, I think I probably could. Now that we have them unboxed, let's take a look and see what might be wrong. Let's see, this first one looks pretty good. Whoa, we even have an image on the screen. I did see Nintendo flash up on the screen. Okay, it's turning on. Okay. So this one does have parental controls. Let's see if there's any other problems. So this starts up and plays games just fine too. I'm gonna remove the parental controls, also go online with it and make sure it connects to Wi-Fi, but other than that, this one is looking great. If we're lucky, this is the only problem with it. Also, I wanted to look up real quick and see what these are going for. So the last one that sold was on the 5th of July for $255 with $21 in shipping. So I actually could make pretty good money on these if I can get them both working. This first one looks like it works just fine. So based on these prices, I could probably make at least $100 each. Now let's take a look at the one that I know for sure has problems. Somebody tried to get into this, but they obviously were not successful. The screws are all in wrong places and they're not even screwed in all the way. Let's see if this one turns on, if I can. Okay, there's the power button. And just no power, kind of what I expect. I'm half expecting this to be messed up on the inside. Hopefully they didn't do too much damage to it, but let's check it out and see. And now it's time for my favorite part. Let's take this one apart. In order to take this one apart, I'm going to be using my favorite toolkit made by the sponsor of this video, iFixit. This is the ProTech toolkit, and it'll get you into basically any device. I'll be using that to open and repair this Switch Lite. Okay, I think I have all the screws out. I am not looking forward to seeing what they did to this on the inside. Okay, and here we go. Let's see how bad it is. Okay, we have one broken ribbon cable for there for sure. Another broken ribbon cable. What else do we have? I don't see anything else right now. I gotta get this plate off and then we can see what else is messed up. These screws are in here so tight that I'm not sure if I'll be able to get them out. I'm using a bit that's a little bit bigger, just hoping that it'll grip it better. Ah, yes, got that one. So let's see if I can get this one. There we go. Got it. This screw is almost totally stripped out, but I think I got just the thing. One of the things iFixit sells on their website, ifixit.com, is screw extractors, which, by the way, if you go to ifixit.com/TronicsFix, you can get a coupon code for $10 off your order of $50 or more. The shape of the head of this screw extractor actually fits down into the shape of a stripped screw pretty well, so let's see if this can get this one out. Looks like it is turning it. Yeah, we're getting it out. There we go. And there we go. So you can see the head of this just fits into this stripped out screw just in the right way in order to get it to turn out. These don't work for every strip screw, but it's a great thing to have in your toolbox in case you encounter one of these. Okay, all the screws are out. Let's see what damage there is under that shield. That definitely looks funny. Actually doesn't look too bad under here so far. So 0.23 amps. Usually it's a little more than that. I'm gonna leave it on just for a little bit here and see if that bumps up. With the battery this dead, it may take a little while to get it to charge, if it'll charge at all. Looks to me like someone was probably trying to get down to replace the analog stick that's broken off, but unfortunately they just did not do a very good job of it. So at least this ribbon cable is good. So we have basically the power button ribbon cable and the ribbon cable for the analog stick itself that are bad. Unfortunately, there's not going to be any way to fix this part, so we will need a new power button for this, but hopefully the rest of it we can just replace and then it'll work after that. But while I'm in here, I'm going to get this analog stick replaced, then we can mount the board back on the Switch. So there is the broken analog stick, and here's the new one. Now the white analog sticks, you can usually find those on ifixit.com, and you can look for the blue and red ones. When I purchased this one, they didn't have any of those yet, but they may get some in stock here in the future, so you can check there to see if they have them. So while I was fixing this, I did notice the charger bumped up to 0.45. That should be about normal charging for the Switch Lite. I have the new power button board and ribbon cable here. These are about $10 if you get them online. So I'm gonna get that installed, get the rest of the screws in, and then we'll turn this over and see if it'll turn on. This is one of the rare cases where I'm actually not gonna replace the thermal paste. This thermal paste is very wet and it's gonna stick just fine and transfer the heat just fine. I'm gonna spread it out a little bit, make sure it sticks on here good, but we're gonna call it good. And even more good news, as I'm still putting this back together, we're at 1.13 amps charging this Nintendo Switch Lite. That means that it's gone to fast charging. So that's great news. I'm gonna finish getting this back cover on. One of the problems I have to deal with is that it is bent right here. So I gotta try and bend that back without making too many marks on it, and then see if we can get it so it looks decent. So what I'm gonna try is putting a cloth over each side of this, then gripping on pliers and trying to bend it back. Actually, that's working pretty good, and I'm not making any marks on it, so I just need to go a little bit more, I think, and that'll be good. That's getting pretty close. I'll probably try and get just a little bit more on it. Then we'll put this back on and see how it looks. So before I put that back plastic cover on, this is the first Switch Lite. I'm just getting the parental controls reset. Now I gotta make sure that it'll actually work. Okay, so this first Switch Lite is initializing. Now I'm gonna put this plastic cover back on the second Switch Lite, and then we'll see how this corner looks. So here we go. That is much better. Nice clean lines there. Okay, now I'm gonna get all the screws in and then we'll check that corner and see how it looks. And now time for the problem corner. Okay, what do you think? It's definitely messed up right here. Somebody was trying to pry on it and it gouged out the corner here. This part isn't bent up near as much. It looks like it is bent up a little bit because it doesn't sit all the way down there. I might take that back off, kind of redo that a little bit, but overall it's really not too bad, especially compared to how it was. I am using new screws here since the other ones were in such bad shape. Now that we have the case on, let's plug it back in and see if it charges and if it turns on. And here we go. We have 0 charging, goes to 0.45. Oh, this is good news. We got a battery symbol up here. Let's see if it goes to fast. Oh, here we go. It's even starting up for us. This is great news. It's fast charging. There we go. Look at that. Now let's see if these analog sticks even work though. And that one works great. Now I'm gonna test a game in it. Let's see if the game slot works. And there we go, the game pulls up on the screen. So this one looks like everything's working. I'm gonna connect it to the internet and test it a little bit more off camera, but it looks like this Switch Lite is fixed. So I was able to fix both of these special edition Nintendo Switch Lites. It cost about $10 total for both repairs, as one of them just needed the parental controls reset. I paid $300 for both of these Switches, and I could probably sell each one for $250 to $275. Don't forget to go to ifixit.com/TronicsFix for all your game console tools and supplies. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good one.